Hey there, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a product review. This is the first product review that I've done, so let me know in the comments how you find it, anything that I've left out, any information that you need to know, how I can improve it. Anything in the comments will be helpful for any future product reviews that I do going forward. Today I'm going to review a rucksack. This is a rucksack I've had for a while. This is the Atom Packs, the Mo Ep50. For anybody that doesn't know Atom Packs, they are based in the Lake District. They build custom packs. It's a cottage industry, so all of their packs are built in Keswick, they're handmade, and they're to the highest standards. You can buy custom packs, which means you can go on their website, you can choose different colour schemes, you can customise the pack to a varied specification. I think that you can also contact them directly, and if there's any special requirements you've got, they might be able to pop that on the pack for you. You can also buy packs off the shelf, which is what this one is. Occasionally they'll release them for sale, but they do go very, very quickly. Within like 15 minutes or so, usually the packs are sold out. They do runs every few months, so you kind of like have to get on there pretty quickly. Anyway, so let's have a look at the pack. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break down this review into having a look at the features of the pack. Then I'm going to load the pack up with some wild camping gear so you can see what will fit in there, and then I'm going to take it out on a wild camp so you can see how the pack performs out in the field, and yeah, that should hopefully give you a good idea of whether this pack might be suitable for you. So let's start by having a look at the front of the pack. So as you can see, there are lots of these bungee cords going on, which can be used as lashing points on the front of the pack and also on the side of the pack, and they can be also used to compress the pack down. This is great for lashing any extra items you want, any clothes to dry up. That's perfect for that. You've got this stretchy pocket on the front here, which you can fill, and it is quite stretchy, so you can actually fill quite a lot in there, and that's really handy for anything such as waterproofs, stuff that you need to kind of get hold of pretty quickly. You have two side pockets here, and these can fit two 1 litre bottles in here quite easily, so they are quite spacious. The material's not stretchy, so you can't overstretch them, you can't overfill them. You can pop quite a bit in there. You've got one on both sides as well. You've also got these bungee cords here, so you can secure that all down, which is great. Let's have a look at the back of the pack. So we have here the shoulder straps. These aren't massively thick in terms of foam, but they are definitely more than adequate, and it's quite stiff foam, but obviously that will kind of give over time as you are using the pack. Like anything, it really just needs to, you need to give it some breaking in time. You've also got on the shoulder straps, you've got these stretchy pockets here, which are great for water bottles, or your phone, or some snacks, or whatever you want to go in there. I tend to put a 500ml water bottle in here, and it fits perfectly. And then the other one I could put, a camera, my pocket camera, or a phone, or some snacks. So yeah, they're really useful. It's a feature that I actually look for when purchasing a rucksack. I look to have these pockets, and if the rucksack hasn't got them, then I make sure that I'm able to put some pockets on there. It's something that I really like as a feature. Coming a bit further down, we've got the hip belt. The hip belt is it's removable, so just down here you can take this hip belt off. I actually replaced mine. I originally had a medium hip belt, but I actually switched out for a large because I really wanted this to hug my hips a little bit better. So although I have quite small hips, they are quite bony as well. I just felt that it just wasn't transferring the load as much as I wanted, so you can play about with that. And then I've also got in here these two hip belt pockets, and these can be detached. We've got a little lashing point here, so you can take those off. So that's completely up to you whether you want those. These are an add-on, so when you purchase the pack, they don't come with hip belt pockets, but you can add those on, and they've got bags of space in here. So yeah, you can fit quite a lot into these pockets. You've also then got the hip belt strap here, and then you've got 2 points where you can tighten it, so you can really form it to your waist and get that nice and snug, so it can transfer that load down onto your hips. The bottom of the pack, there is another pocket, and this, I love this. I know there are some other packs that do it, but they're very few and far between. But I just love having this. I didn't know how useful it would be when I first purchased the pack, but I absolutely love this pocket. You can stuff loads of snacks and stuff in here, and then it's got a little pocket here also, which you can then use just to stuff empty wrappers. That's so useful. I really did find this useful, just to stuff loads of snacks and stuff, and you know what your snacks are, and yeah, that really useful feature that I found. So coming to the top of the pack, so it's a roll top closure bag. So as you can see here, you've got 2 buttons to fasten it up, and then you can just roll the bag down, and then you can either clip it kind of dry bag style over the top like so. So you do have these straps down here that you can attach it to, and then cinch that down, and that works really well either way. Depends, just your personal preference really, how you want to load it. So everything is loaded into the bag from the top down. There's no other way of accessing the bag, so there's no other pockets, there's no sleeping bag compartments or anything like that, which for me is fine. That's the way I like it. I don't really get on particularly well with having loads of compartments. I just load everything in. I know how my stuff's ordered, so for me that works absolutely fine. Other people, you might prefer having a few more places to gain access to your gear. If you do, this bag may not be for you, but for me, zero problem at all. Also inside, you have this little connector here. I actually use this to put my key rings on, but you can also attach a reservoir to that. So if you want to have like a bladder in there, then you can also use that for that, I believe, but I don't do that personally. Also on the inside, you have the back system, which you can take out. So this back system here has a foam padding on the back, so it makes it comfortable against your back. And let's take it out and have a look. As you can see, it's got a plastic back panel, and then you have this aluminium stay that goes all the way down the middle to help transfer load to your hips, and you can bend this to suit the shape of your back. It takes a little bit of a trial and error to get it kind of molded to your back, but you can just have a bit of play about with it over time and see what works best for you. You can just flex it in and out. You might need someone to give you a hand to get the pressure kind of against your back. You know, you can just take it out, and then yeah, you can just get someone to push it against your back like so, and yeah, that's pretty cool, and it's quite easy just to take that in and out of the bag. And that brings me to the point, the back itself. So there's no airflow at the back of this bag, so this sits directly to your back. So that's just something to bear in mind, because yeah, there's nothing kind of going through, it's all contacting your back, so your back may build up some sweat, which tends to happen regardless, to be honest. It may affect some people more than others. It's not really been an issue for me. One other point on the top is you do have this Y strap, so this goes over the top and then connects here, and then you can cinch that down. And I love having a Y strap across the top. It just allows that extra bit of flexibility to attach stuff. Obviously, if you're in bear country, which in the UK it's not a problem that we tend to have, you can attach bear canister to it, or like I said, if you're in the UK, you could use it to attach, you know, a sleeping pad to a roll mat, some extra snacks or whatever. I've used it to attach snacks to before. It's quite flexible. I really do enjoy having that feature. A Y straps are very useful, I find. So let's have a look at some of the specifications of this pack. The torso length ranges from a small to an extra large. and you'll need to just obviously measure that up. There's instructions, videos on the website of how to go about doing that. If you're not sure, you can always give them a shout. You can go in for fittings as well, so you can go into Keswick and you could get them to measure that up for you. That's completely up to you. Annoyingly, I'm right in between sizes, so I'm right in between the medium and the large. I actually went for a medium to start off with, but I found it a little bit too small. The large, unfortunately for me, is a little bit too large, which is one issue that I have with this pack, not having an adjustable torso length. For me personally, it has been a bit of an issue, but I will come on to that later. But yeah, that's not a fault per se with the pack, but just something to bear in mind. If you are in between sizes, yeah, that could be potentially an issue. The medium too small, the large too large, or wherever you kind of fit. The hip belt goes from an extra small to an extra large. Again, they show you how to measure your hips, so you know what to go for. Okay, the load capacity of this bag, they say, is 19 kilos. So in theory, you could load this up to 19 kilos and it should be comfortable for you. I think that also depends on the size of the person you are. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, so I certainly would struggle with 19 kilos in this bag, but some people that might be fine with. Again, we're all very different, so you're just going to have to see what works for you. I've had this up to about 15, 16 kilos, and that was kind of, for me, my limit. I certainly wouldn't go over 16 kilos, and even then I was struggling with the comfort level a little bit. Again, I will go into that later. Anything under that, it's really comfortable to wear. Yeah. So in terms of the capacity of the bag, this is a 50 litre backpack. They do different sizes. They've got a 60 litre, they have a 40 litre. So just have to decide which suits you best. 45 of the litres is in the main compartment. So 45 litres in there will actually fit. Now this fabric, which I'll come to the fabric shortly, the fabric isn't stretchy, so you can't overfill it. I know with some rucksacks that I've got have kind of like a more stretchy fabric, so it does kind of give a bit, and I do find I can fit a little bit more in. The Xped 45 that I have, I can definitely fit more in the main compartment than I can with this bag, but it has a stretchy fabric to it, whereas this one doesn't give. So again, something to bear in mind, but again, not an issue with the bag at all, just got something you've got to bear in mind there. And yeah, so the side pockets, they are 2.5 litres on each side, so that's what makes up the 50 litres. So 45 in the main compartment, 2.5 on either side, but then obviously you do have the stretchy front pocket here. I'm not sure how much that fits, but you can get a fair bit in there. Obviously you can lash stuff to the outside here, so lash stuff to the outside here, and then you also have this pocket at the bottom, which can fit a fair few snacks in as well. So the front pocket, you can stretch to an extra 5 litres, so you can fit 5 more litres in the front pocket. So that's really useful, really, really useful. So you can fit quite a bit more in and around with the front pocket, with the bottom pocket. Obviously you've got the 2 pockets on the shoulder straps, and then you've got your Y strap, so you can lash stuff to the top as well. So you do have more flexibility, that is for sure. So coming to the price, these aren't the cheapest bags, but they are custom made. They are hand built in the UK, and I think that's a great thing. You know, being from the UK, buying in the UK is quite an important thing to do, I think. Supporting a UK company and a small UK company, cottage industry. The price when I purchased this was £265, but then you have an additional cost then for the hip back pockets on top of that. Obviously prices are going up, so by the time you watch this video the prices might be slightly different, but I think it's really worth it. I think they're so well made, the customer service is great, and yeah, I think supporting a UK business is a good thing to do. So let's just have another look at the shoulder straps. So these are S-shaped shoulder straps, so they don't come straight down, so they should mould a little bit better to the curvature of your body. They don't have a separate male and female version, so that's just something to bear in mind, but hopefully with this curvature here it should kind of fit most shapes and sizes. The shoulder straps have 10mm foam in them, and then the face of the fabric itself is 210D Robic Extrema face fabric, which is breathable as well. So the foam that I showed you earlier inside the back panel here is 8mm closed cell foam, and like I said, that can be removed and it will save you 25 grams of weight. There's also the alloy stay can be removed as well. The sheet itself, the plastic sheet, is made of 1mm thick plastic, and then it's also got a 12mm alloy bar. And then if you remove that, I believe you can save 91 grams and then also an additional 58 grams from the alloy. So you can reduce this pack down even further in size if you're carrying less loads. For example, you could remove all of that if you don't need to transfer the weight to your hips quite as much because you've got less capacity in here. You can bring that weight down even further. So that's just something to bear in mind. And then another thing to mention here is that I didn't mention before on the front is that you do have this ice axe loop here. So yes, you can pop an ice axe loop there, or you can put your trekking poles in there as well, which you can just go up to here, and then you can kind of cinch them up to here. Right, so that's a good look at the pack. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to load this pack up. I will show you what I'm putting in it, so it'll give you a good idea of the sort of capacity that this bag has. The load will be kind of my winter to spring load, which I think gives a good idea of how much can fit in. And then we're going to go out for a hike and a wild camp and see how it performs in the field. Right then, let's get this bag packed. So here we have the Mo Ep50. So let's start packing. So the first thing we're going to do is put a liner into the bag. This is a Nilo Fume liner. So these are dirt cheap, and they weigh nothing. They're quite strong and they are waterproof. So they will keep everything in the bag nice and dry. The first thing is the sleeping bag. Next thing going in is the Nemo tensor. This is my sleeping pad. Next thing, these are my down pants and my down booties. In here is a set of clothes. Next, I put my down jacket in, which I will want for camp. And then we'll start putting some of the utilities. So these are bits and bobs that I will be using in and around camp, such as like first aid kit, toiletry bag. This is like a utility bag, so it's just got some odds and sods in it. My electronic bag, so all of my electronics in there, power bank, cables in there. So as we can see, we are up to 2/3 at the moment, I guess. We've still got quite a bit left that we can pack in. So next, this is my food bag. And then this is my cook kit. Just going to now fold that over so everything in there keeps nice and dry. And then is the tent. So this is the Durston X-Mid 2. And then this mat here, which I could put on the outside, but I'm going to pop it in the bag. So yeah, we're almost near the top now, so there's a little bit of space left, and for that we can put a folding table. I think that's about it. So everything else here is actually going to go on the outside of the bag. So let's go ahead and get this slipped up. So yeah, you just basically roll the top up here, and then you can roll it back down, and then with the side compression straps here, and then the same goes to the other side here. Cinch that down. That is the bag. Is now fully loaded. Like I said, everything else now is going to go on the outside of the bag. We do have space that we could put something on the top if we wanted to. So if we just put the Y strap across and tighten that down, you can see now the Y strap is on top. But we've still got, obviously, pockets here that we can put stuff in. So let's start with doing that. So we've got our water bottles here. This week I'm just taking 2 1 litre water bottles. So I'll just pop those in like so. And you can use these compression straps here just to hold those down if you want to. Not really a need to, they aren't going anywhere, but that's something that you can do. We also have the Sawyer squeeze, so I'm going to want that to hand. And then here, so I've got a beanie hat in case it gets a little chilly, and such as some spare gloves. So we'll just shove those down the bag there. So sit pad, that can just go on the outside here, like so. Walking poles, I've also put those on the outside. I'll just pop these down here. Should be sitting kind of in the pocket. It's not got a huge amount in it. Hip belt pockets. So these are spare batteries for my camera, a little windshield, and then also my Sony earbuds. They can all go in there in the little techie side if you like. And then the Sawyer squeeze bag, so I'm just going to roll that up, and that can go just in this pocket here. And the most important part, a couple of beers. Right, so that is the bag fully loaded. So let's pop the rucksack on now, and then we can see what it looks like on me when it's fully loaded. So here we have the pack. Let's see how much it weighs. Yeah, so just under 14 kilos. There is a couple more bits of food to go in there, but not a huge amount. So we'll probably come in at around the 14.5, maybe coming on 15 kilo mark. So the thing that the bag has, which I didn't mention before, is load lifters, which is very important, so you can cinch the pack and bring it right up to your back. So that's quite an important feature to have. And some lightweight packs don't have load lifters, so it's handy that these do. Right, pack on. So the first thing we'll do is get the hip belt fastened down. And then shoulder straps are next. It's tight but not too tight. And then sternum strap, which you just want just a little loose, you don't want that too tight. And then there we go. And there you go. So pack looks good. So a couple of other things that I'm going to put on. This is a water bottle, which I like to have accessible, which goes there. This is my little tripod, which I use for my Action 3 camera. So I usually just put that somewhere here, just so I've got that quick access to hand. Now these are actually going to go into, on this side, the pocket. We have the pocket at the base of the pack, and I can just shove that in there. Crisps can go in there. Tomorrow, about the noise. Tomorrow there'll be some rolls as well to go in there, and a sausage roll, and that's essentially it. So yeah, the backpack fits pretty well. Feels quite comfy, so the weight is distributed onto the hips here. So like I said, one of the problems with it is you don't have any airflow at the back, so this would just rest on my back and could potentially get a little bit sweaty, but it is a trade-off with some of these packs. So the water bottles can be reached here, so you can take these out and then pop them back in. I don't tend to do that often, but as you can see, that was relatively easy. And again here, take that out, have a drink, and then that can go back in. You can't do it one-handed, but yeah, that's fine there. So yeah, it's got plenty of storage options. Everything has fit into my bag nicely. It is kind of to the top, but I do have more space that I can use vertically and use the Y strap, and I do also have more space in the pocket, the stretchy pocket at the front of the pack. But yeah, it's just a case now of seeing how it feels tomorrow. And welcome to Wales. So, pack is loaded up. I've actually managed to break it as well. I've broken the buckle on the Y strap, so I can't use the Y strap, which is really annoying, but it's my own fault for being stupid. So I'm going to have to contact Atom Packs and get a replacement for that. So yeah, let's see how she performs. I'm doing about a 6-mile hike today. I may well camp, I may come back round, so it might actually end up being a 9-mile hike. But we'll just see how we get on. So, just an observation about the side pockets here. So, they are lovely big side pockets. They are easy to open with one hand. They've got a waterproof zipper on, you can remove them. However, I think I find them, I don't know if it's just me, but I find them quite far around the side. So I find them a bit difficult to kind of search through and find stuff. But I don't know whether that's I haven't really had that problem on some of my other bags. So that's just a personal preference. I would like everything to be a bit more around here, but I don't know. Maybe it's a sizing thing. But yeah, not necessarily a negative, just an observation. So one thing I do love about this rucksack is these pockets. So this is a 600ml smart water bottle, and it just fits nicely in here. I also use a 500ml bottle as well, which again fits perfectly in there. So I'm not sure you can go much further than 600. You might get a 750 in there, but I think you're probably pushing it a bit. If it's a narrow one, you'll be alright. But yes, something I do love about this rucksack. So, empty wrapper bar. What do you do with it? You've either got to put it in your pocket, put it in a side pocket, or with the Mo, you can pop it down here. Little pocket there. Sorted. Right, I'm going to have a snack now, and I can't be bothered to take my rucksack off. So, luckily, I've put my snacks and my lunch in the bottom of my bag. So what I'm going to do is take them out of the bottom of the bag. So, yeah, I've got my sausage roll, my crisps, and basically just pull them out of this compartment here, and away you go. Don't have to take my bag off. Brilliant feature. So a little update on the rucksack, the Atom Packs, the Mo Ep50. Not bad, actually. I have some pain on my shoulders, kind of the back here, but it's not too bad, it's not excessive. But yeah, I do have a little bit of pain, which I do tend to get with this rucksack, and I think it's the thing that probably stops me using it a lot of the time with kind of 14 to 15 kilo loads. And that's not to say that it can't take 14 to 50 kilo loads, because I'm sure it absolutely can, and it is rated to be higher than that. But for me, it just doesn't carry that very well. And I think that whether it would work for you, I think depends on your shape and size. So it probably would. And I know people, loads and loads of people, say how comfortable this backpack is and works for them. So, you know, I'm not going to put that down as a reason not to buy this rucksack, because I think there's so many reasons to buy this rucksack. I think it is absolutely fantastic. I think it's so well made. Some brilliant little features on it. You know, you treat it with care, it will last you a long time. And it's just one of those things where you got to try it and see if it fits you and works for you, and if not, then sell it. And if it does, then brilliant. So yeah, it's one of those things. But unfortunately, it doesn't quite work for me. But yeah, would I recommend it? Would I recommend the Atom Packs, the Mo Ep50? Absolutely, yes I would. It's worth every penny, and if it fits you well, you're going to love it. You are going to love it.